Alright, so I've spent the past 45 minutes recreating the last 2 episodes of the game because we died and this game's save system is abysmally bad.
It doesn't seem bad. It just seems like we neglected to actually save.
Why is my headlight not on? There we go.
We don't need headlights where we're going.
Is there like a manual
It's
button
going
for
to
that?
be sunny soon.
Wait, are those ghost wolves?
Yeah. Yeah, they just sort of
Oh.
spawn up and act annoying.
Aren't they just like
So-
natural Canadian wildlife? Canadian ghost
Oh,
wolves?
yeah,
Canada
for
had
sure.
velociraptors.
No, that's Toronto.
Oh, I see.
Oh, man.
So this is like more north.
No, that's just like the closest thing spoiler warning's ever going to get to a sports joke.
Oh, I see what you did there, yeah.
Huh.
Oh.
Alright. Well,
And the only reason I know that is because I like dinosaurs. It's just the really
Oh
fucking
my
sad
god.
part.
You are the biggest nerd. You could take that snowmobile right across that water.
well, the last time I
This
tried,
is
it
kind
did
of
not
moving
let
fast.
me.
There's competitions you can do where you drive the snowmobiles over the water.
Can a
remember what
70
it's called.
snowmobile go over the water, though?
Oh, good question.
The fuck?
What?
It's a good thing we saved.
You know what we should do right now?
Save.
Let's smoke some
Carl,
cigarettes.
like many of his contemporaries, felt like he had more trouble breathing when he wasn't smoking.
Do they spawn less frequently if you're more sane?
Was his own personal breathing
No.
assistant.
They just kind of spawn up and annoy you in the last segment. Here.
Then why did we need sanity?
Because our sanity was almost 0, and that's bad.
Do we die?
I think so. Where the fuck?
Do you want me to Google how to solve this particular conundrum?
Oh, okay. There's another bridge over to the east of us.
They didn't have Google back then. You had to look at the map.
You can't look at the map
You can
while
just
driving
hit a
the
tree.
snowmobile.
This is like
But you can look at a map while
bringing
driving
back
the car.
memories of PUBG.
Oh god. Are they ever going to figure out a better name for that?
And why would you?
We call it Pubaga. Gooby Goo.
I'm driving right past it. All right, we're gonna go back to where the fork in the road was.
Oh
And
god.
I'll make sure we pick the right one this time. Problem with that fork in the road is... Oh, hello.
It was so cold. Already
There was a
Carl did
fork in
not
the
feel
road,
his
and I
toes
took the
anymore.
one less traveled, or not, and then I went back, and then I got a little lost, and then I got attacked by
The log.
ice
Thank
wolves, and that made all the difference.
Huh. So
Carl
the
is
bridge
very
must be
tall.
right up here.
Oh jeez. Wah wah. Is there an ending thing that we needed to do before the bridges would exist that we didn't do?
No. I don't get it. Remember when we built that bridge in that cave? What the do I have to walk across here? I know
Maybe.
I had the snowmobile.
Give it up.
Looks like you're right on that path. Oh.
Yeah, I don't...
Are those trees supposed to be on fire?
Ember,
yeah.
I think.
That doesn't seem
You know.
possible.
Like, not
The door
on
had been
fire, but
busted down
red
the
hot.
island, and a burnt smell filled the air. Half of the cabin had been consumed by flames. Carl surveyed the
Doesn't
chaotic
look like
scene,
it.
noticing that
It
someone
looks pretty
appeared to
alright
have
to me.
intended to use the furniture as bonfire fuel. Carl
Like a
had
small
no
corner,
idea
just got a
how
little
such
crispy.
mess could have occurred, but he knew it didn't bode well.
You know, this game has given us a lot of resources, and I don't think we've used, like, 10% of them.
Yeah, we haven't even used that stake that's in the back of our truck.
And that's used for, like, luring away wolves. Maybe... I think I know what I have to do. You got these logs here, and I'll bet you have to build a bridge. You have to, like, get out.
Like they
and-
do with bears.
Yeah, there it is.
Seems like the elements showed mercy to those nice and solid-looking planks.
Alright, now we run back to the campfire, warm up, get the snowmobile, drive back to there. Let's have another cigarette, just because.
We have 28 left.
Again, just so many resources, and I know we've kind of been joking our way through the game and not really playing it all that seriously, and Josh has already beaten the game, so he kind of knows where to go, but I don't know, I just, it's weird how many resources there are that are just going completely unused.
The inventory
Like, the
system
game doesn't-
is pretty crappy in general. Oh,
Well, they're just things that I've been watching that I
No.
still don't quite
give me
understand,
the
like
gun, damn it. Where?
why we always have to take pictures of the ice to follow the mystical...
Hang
Well,
on.
you didn't actually need to do that. I think when it's nighttime, it's necessary so that you can see the footprints, but I never took
Yeah.
the pictures.
Let's see, okay, I think we want to go to the eastern side here. Let's pop a first aid kit. I think we're on a path. Hey, what's up? Unfortunately, you can't run these guys over, which is annoying.
I feel like the imagery and the optics of running over mystical, you know, spirit wolves is probably not great. I mean, granted, shooting them isn't much better, but at least that's like an active conflict where you beat them in armed combat, whereas running them over is sort of vaguely insulting somehow. See, now the wolf has a fighting chance, even though you have a gun.
Actually, while we're here, we may as well check the map. Yeah, okay.
We still have a long way to
Like-
go then.
This game was, I think, a lot better before I knew how it concluded. Because there's a lot of that potential there for it to do interesting stuff. Does this have a log? Can I get a log? I guess not.
More cigarettes.
I guess I just feel like the game really needed to double down on its narrative,
Yeah.
and do less of the light long dark stuff. Because we already have
Yeah,
a long dark, and the long dark's really good.
Like, all of the inventory stuff is the...
Are those eyes? Oh no. It's
Yes.
ice.
2 more victims of this ice plague. Carl.
Well, I thought it was a bunch of the wolves staring at us, like, down the road with their eyes glowing, and I was like, oh my god, that's kind of badass, but it was
Like,
just
the,
ice people.
The best
Strong pull of
bits of
ambition
this game is the,
coming.
like, exploration and the, not really knowing what's going to happen next, and always looking over your shoulder wondering if you're about to get attacked by a monster, but in the end, the only monsters in the game are
Woman.
those wolves.
It looked like a simple hunting accident.
Yeah, I mean, they do hint at, like, a spirit coming to the village. And, like, the child drew all those demon pictures, so you're like, oh my god, this is really freaky. And then, like,
There was Hamilton.
nothing
Carl
happens.
recognized him.
Yeah. So this is the big reveal. Hamilton was out hunting with his buddies, accidentally shot this woman. The doctor couldn't
A
save
major
her.
hunting accident.
And tried to cover it up, and eventually the doctor's conscience got the better of him, and he went
The
to
doctor examined the young woman.
like threaten Hamilton and ended up inadvertently killing him. Well, not inadvertently, but
But death couldn't be overturned. She was dead.
I guess it's gonna spell out everything that I'm saying here anyway. Oh,
So was it a native woman that was murdered?
yeah, it was a Native American woman. So,
Yeah.
It was not the type of body you buried in a big ceremony. in
Do
the
we know
village.
what, like, tribes this game is actually invoking?
it's the Cree.
Okay.
It had to be hidden. No one could know about this. The best way to do that was to have a simple-minded man bury the poor girl. Lamotte, the mechanic.
Why?
Was that the guy that built the UFO?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not simple-minded. That takes a lot of effort to build a UFO. We couldn't fix it.
The doctor denied the unfair death of the young woman, but Hamilton had him in his grips. Hamilton knew all of the poet's secrets and wouldn't hesitate to reveal them. I know all about your crimes, you little communist. You know mine. What a sordid affair.
The narrator doing voice acting is better than the narrator doing narrator.
It's interesting to me that this game
Understood the
seems to
ins
be
and outs of
taking
the affair. A
this
woman had
same
been
approach
killed
that
in an
Tacoma
unfair
plans on
accident,
doing, which is
and a young warrior had damaged
player
himself
model or
in the
character
burning.
models, but they're not textured. They're just sort of abstract silhouettes.
Yeah. Anyway, so after learning about the woman's death, a young
Hamilton,
Cree
the one
tribesman
responsible, had already
uh,
been killed.
turned
And
himself
so
into
the
a
beast could
Wendigo
not
to avenge
quench his
himself
thirst
upon
for
Hamilton, but
Now, recklessly, Carl had
Hamilton was
discovered
already dead.
that Hamilton was already dead,
a
so
beast who was but
what
a
the
young
fuck does he do?
man lost without his
He just
woman,
Wendigoed all over town.
and who had, out of hatred,
okay,
become
Or would that be
Wendigo.
Wend-to-Went?
why?
So you just walk away?
More like run away, but yes. Oh boy. I guess I don't actually have to fight these guys if I dodge them, but... Oh.
I kind of love the wobble of the gun. So did you just help free him from ice? Why are we being attacked?
Because the visions did it.
And we saw an arrow on one of the, like, destroyed cars early in the game. So did the Wendigo attack random people? who
No,
were
it
just driving
was
by?
always near the people who. It was always near the people who the Wendigo. Like, yeah, the Wendigo just attacked random people, basically, yeah. Just kind of wandered around the town, fucking everything up, causing havoc, freezing people. Then the other guy that was tracking him finally caught him and hit him with the arrow, and then we fucked everything up because of our weird hallucinatory visions. I'm not sure what happens if we were to get up close to him, but
I'm pretty sure we'd die. Our sanity is almost 0.
yeah, I don't think you're. I guess you don't die if your sanity's 0. It just makes you run really slow.
As low sanity tends to do.
Man, there's a lot of frozen people here.
It's going to be real hard to explain this to the cops.
Narrow passage sheltered here. But for how long?
Yeah, you kind of wonder what the fuck. It was a weird blizzard. I don't know. Why have
Your
you
story
discharged
starts
your weapon
with
50 times?
Your story starts with, I found a dead body, so I picked up the presumed murder weapon, and then a blizzard hit in April. And your story only gets worse from there.
I mean, at least the blizzard hitting in April is something they can independently
It was
verify.
so cold. Already Carl did not feel his toes anymore.
Just don't know how well, like, hard-boiled detective fiction goes with the supernatural.
I think you can. I mean, a lot of non-Lovecraft Cthulhu stories sort of have that tone to them, and they can kind of work because you're investigating something, and then you end up over your head, and you know, a hard-boiled detective that gets in too deep and finds some sort of supernatural evil. The problem is, at some point, you have to drop the sort of gruff stoicism
Yeah.
in the face of terror, and I don't know if this game really does.
Fucking
This is sort of
bye,
just like,
man.
well,
See
there's
ya.
the Wendigo.
No crimes are solved today.
Well, he knows what happened.
So did purity. I would defend purity against the winds, the tides, against ice and blizzard.
So, as somebody
does
who
this
lives in
mean?
Canada, does this
Could it
seem to be?
that all
Does
this
this?
was
Did
but
you
a
find this
story of
edifying,
justice
Alex?
and vengeance? The soulful doctor avenging his fiance's unjust
It's
death by
very
avenging this young
stereotypical.
woman as though she was his lover.
Because oftentimes,
passionate
like,
feelings
indigenous
not
spirits
precisely
are
the
like
kind of
the
feelings
evil
that cause
in
us
Canada
war,
that, you know,
petrify people deep inside.
terrorize the land, and it's the ghost of the people that we've taken the land from, and it's like that's often a narrative which kind of makes indigenous spirituality into kind of this like horrific thing, which it's not.
Yeah. That's the thing that bugged me the most about this game, I think, aside from the fact that the inventory scavenging stuff was pretty bad, and the fact that the end game starts too soon, and you can trigger it way too soon and make it really annoying to try to navigate everything.
You mean the darkness?
Yeah. I don't know, like, I feel like we've been pretty hard on this game in the couple weeks that we've been doing it.
In fairness, we have.
And-
We have been kind of making fun of the whole thing, and a lot of that is because I think the nature of the game that it is requires a lot of reading, a lot of sitting down and listening, picking up on environmental cues, and those things don't really come across well in a 3 people are
Yeah,
talking over
exactly.
your gameplay video game.
I'll say it again too. It is nice to see a full game set in Canada from start to finish, and it's nice to see some Canadian history also played out in the game, and like that gives it more credit than a lot of games like otherwise would.
I'm surprised how many marketing people in different countries have been involved in this title.
But the exploring stuff is cool, and the
No, it is.
recreating domestic life in the 70s in Quebec was an interesting aspect of it. I think it did pretty good with its environments, and that was the thing that I came away from really liking about the game. The story isn't all that interesting. It ends way sooner than you would expect it to, and nothing gets resolved. Oh, Carl got away and everybody's dead. Okay.
I think the exploration worked really well. I think it's a good example of how trying to add gameplay to your walking sim is not always a good idea, because you really do end up divided. I love the snow. The snow is really good.
All right, and that's Kona.
Hooray!
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 We'll be back next week with
Stuff.
I'm pretty sure what we're gonna do next.
Additional content.
The show is not ending.
Wait, Mary Michelle Tits? Did I see that right?
This is backer credits, so.
I know,
guess-
but it's weird that you would name yourself that.
That was just a garble of letters up above. She's like blah 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 blah. Blah. Like, yep, okay.
Mr. Y. It's a lot of names.
Yeah. So you didn't have the ending of the game in the early access version,
No, not at all.
and the murder wasn't in it. Was it just wandering around exploring?
Yeah, you still got to read like the stories and the journals and stuff. And you still saw the frozen people, you just
That
Didn't
almost
see all of
sounds like a
them.
better game.
yeah. I think it was paced better when you didn't find the body right away.
Yeah.
I wonder if that
Jesus,
would
back
have
in
made
this
the
game.
game. I wonder if that would have helped the game, where like the first mystery is, where is the guy who owes me money? Where's the guy who's going to pay me for this job? And then like halfway through the game you find him dead, and then after finding other people frozen and you think something's going on, and then you find your boss dead, and then it's about, okay, what happened? I need to know because I need my money.
Yeah.
And then eventually it just becomes, oh, there's a Wendigo. Whereas it sort of starts with, your boss is dead and you have no reason to stick around other than that the bridge is out, and then yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you could technically just chill in your car till like the morning.
Oh well.
Or just hang
This
out
was-
in the
I-
gas station and wait for the police to get there.
I feel bad we weren't able to cover the game more thoroughly, but I think a lot of that really is it's really the opposite of a game designed for a Let's Play series. Like
Yeah.
we weren't giving it a fair shake, but also it is not designed for running commentary. Oh well.
Alright, well, next week, other video games that are presumably not set in Canada, but could still be made by Canadians. is.
Dun dun dun.